And I genuinely do believe that our mind and body hold tremendous innate capability of healing, improving themselves, and also keeping them in balance, which is known as homeostasis. And we see countless number of examples, whether it be fever. Um, of course, when you get fever, it sucks. But fever is not necessarily a bad thing because it's trying to kill something far more harmful to our body at that time. Or when we have cough, cold, and mucus, which is annoying, but mucus is a first line defense against something far more harmful at that time. Similarly, we go through a number of emotional roller coaster on a day-to-day basis, whether it be anxiety, irritability, sadness, anger. Um, and I do believe that the mind has tremendous capability of morphing our perception. And we can decide whether we want to look at something as opportunity or threat. Um, I think about the Pygmalion study. What was the Pygmalion study, first of all? So it was a study that involved a group of elementary school children. And they were randomly selected, and they were randomly told that they held tremendous intellectual growth potential. And just those words were so powerful that eight months later, when test scores were compared for these randomly selected children, their scores were far superior than the remainder of the class, which once again tells us the tremendous potential of our neurons, of our dormant neurons that we sometimes don't give enough credit to. So let's bring this attention and shift this focus back to us. We ought to, as human beings, we ought to ask ourselves, we owe this to ourselves. We ought to ask ourselves every morning as to how can I be the best self that I can be today? How can I be the best father, the best husband, the best worker that I can be today? We ought to fire up those neurons that are dormant and that has tremendous potential. Ultimately, what we're aiming for is that profound meaning and purpose that will wake us up from bed. And our life will not be defined by what we do, but why we do something. And that is what I personally am trying to work on for myself. And I hope that I can bring you along that journey. And if there's any way I can contribute to you to help you in any way along the way, that would be a great achievement for me.